because
Where
this
did
whole
they think
show,
they were going?
I don't know. One of them was like, I thought we were going to strippers.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Totally Bombed, the podcast where I invite on performers to talk about times where they've totally bombed. I am your host, Jess, and today's guest is Georgina Keough. Hi, Georgina.
Hello.
So can you tell us in the audience what it is you do, like how you got into performing, what kind of performing you do?
Well, I started in burlesque in a craft class. I went to a workshop where we made pasties and learned how to swirl them around as a gift to your husband for Valentine's Day one day.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
And the class was so amazing that I fell in love with it instantly. And 2 months later, I was on stage.
That's a very fast turnover. So what really drew you to burlesque then? Was it just
The
shaking?
self-expression.
Oh.
Okay, to be honest, I have a lot of sensory issues.
Okay.
So I don't like to wear clothes. So there's a lot of pluses to burlesque in general, but that's one of my personal ones. But the self-expression, being able to find your sexuality without it being sexual.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be. For me, it's the community that it builds, the strength between sisters and brothers. There's many males and men in our field. Yeah, sorry. It's a really big community for me, so I'm reflecting on all the amazing people.
That's great. I mean, burlesque, like you say, finding your sexuality without it being inherently sexual. And I think a lot of people that aren't in the burlesque community really confuse it with stripping.
Absolutely. Not that there is anything wrong with stripping. Any of us who do a 10-minute performance, it takes a toll on your body, the amount of strength and just endurance that it takes to be able to do what they do for a job is incredible. I give them so much credit, but that's absolutely not the same
art
thing.
Form, yes.
It's an art form. A lot of comedy, surprisingly. A lot of the acts I do myself are comedic based. And it's also a great place to find yourself, to find that person that you've always wanted to be.
Well, you get to play. Yeah, I was going to say you get to play with costumes, looks, makeup, movement. There's just so much there.
And it's one of those art forms that kind of grows with you as you change, as you become and discover new things about yourself. Your art form can change with you. And really, truly, it is whatever you choose it to be. If it's one of those things you pick up on weekends and do, one big show a year and just have fun with your friends, that's fine. Or it's those women that just every day and it's part of their everyday life.
Yeah. I've never done burlesque, but I was in a Rocky Horror shadow cast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And there was an incident at the time where, I don't know if you remember this, a few years back, probably more than a few years back, there was an incident where some burlesque dancers in Hamilton got ticketed as strippers.
Yes. Hamilton is actually, I'll bring this up because I'm very proud of my friends. Hamilton is one of the few places that actually has burlesque bylaws. We can legally perform in the city without being ticketed now. We have rules that we have to follow, and as long as we're following those rules, we're good to go.
Yes.
So yes, you can take off your clothes in a bar as long as you are wearing pasties and a G-string.
We need more of those art classes.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's get into our fast flops. This is the section where we react to your guys' flop stories. So if you out there have a flop story that you would like to potentially be reacted to on a future episode, feel free to DM it to me or post it on our Reddit, and I will gather them up and put them together. Now, you also said you kind of did clowning. Yep.
I have dabbled in some clowning. burlesque is one of those art forms that it's very easy to travel into other art forms.
Yes.
Clowning, drag, many of those, we were all kind of work together. I enjoy the opportunity to wear a mask. Many of my characters are masked characters. But
Cool.
yeah.
Okay, because I did find some clown. I was just wanting to. I
Yeah,
try to
yeah.
make them very for the performer that I have on. So. So this first one, the user has since been deleted, so I don't know what their username was. But they said, at age 5, I was dragged on stage for a local live kids show hosted by a local clown TV host called Barney Bunglehopper. He tried to put me on his lap. I punched him in the nose and ran off stage. Basic 5-year-old. Mm-hmm. And then he says, of course, years later, as a hungry actor, I got hired for mime gigs and got harassed and hit by kids.
Yep.
Clown karma is a bitch.
I absolutely love children. I'm a mom myself. I always thought being a clown would be one of those things that would make children want to spend time with me more. I even learned how to like the balloon animals and everything. No, they run away from me as a clown. I'm terrifying, apparently.
Clowns don't hit with kids the same way, but adults love clowns now.
Some of them, my best friend is terrified. Actually, 2 of my best friends are terrified of me in clown form.
And just in your clown form.
Yeah.
I did used to do miming. So kind of clown adjacent.
Yeah,
French
yeah,
clown.
yeah.
So yeah, back in the day. So this next one is from a burlesque dancer named Stella St. James.
Oh, I know her.
Oh, well,
Absolutely.
this is her Reddit post. Someone asked her, what's the funniest thing that's ever happened to you on stage? And this was her response. There's a venue in San Francisco that's 2 levels with a mini stage about half a flight of stairs up from the big stage. Guess who has 2 thumbs and fell down that half flight of stairs? And then they also said, recently I was competing at a festival and the ceiling over the stage was so low that I bumped my oversized feather boa into the ceiling. Slip-ups always happen. And when the goal is audience engagement, they can often actually draw the audience in more because they're surprised and invested in you as a performer.
Absolutely. Our moments when we are failing on stage, it's all about how you handle that. You go with it. Nobody knows you're messing up unless you tell them.
That's
you're messing
exactly
up.
it.
I have friends that have had missing bras because they get stuck in raptors. Falling off stage is a regular thing. Missing underwear or parts. Hitting off of the ceiling.
Well, and especially because you said, with burlesque, you can add that comedy.
Yeah,
So it's if something goes wrong, maybe that was just a comedic bit you planned.
We also get stuck in costumes often. So you're trying to take something off. It just will not come.
I can imagine that. If you're wearing anything latexy or something and you get a little sweaty. I can see that. This last one is actually a review on TripAdvisor. And it made me kind of laugh. It's from Le Grand Cirque, so a circus in Myrtle Beach. And this was the review, and it was about the clown. It said, uneven performances and a really bad clown. They did give it 3 stars, though. They said, Karen C. from Myrtle Beach says, the acrobatic performances were uneven, but when they were good, they were very, very good. I'm not sure, though, if it was worth the high ticket price. A lot of the show was a clown act, and he was definitely not good. Every time he came out, which was a lot, I groaned inside. If you're going to do something besides acrobatics, do it well. Would not recommend. So I don't know what this clown did that made them groan so much. But apparently they were just not, I guess this clown just wasn't funny. I guess that would be what would be a bad clown?
Not engaging your audience enough because you got to go off of whatever their energy is.
Yeah, if you're just going by your script or whatever.
Yeah, if you look like you're following a script, meh.
Yeah, no one's going to buy you that as a clown. Yeah, no one's going to buy you that as a
And
clown.
if you're not excited about it, right? Nobody's going to want to engage a clown that's meh.
Unless if that's your bit, then really lean into that.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're a cynical clown, be really cynical and sarcastic or whatever. But you gotta, don't.
You need the character if you don't build the character.
Yeah. If you're that bad that people are groaning about you, maybe clowning isn't for you. Hopefully, I wonder if that guy still has a job there. That was our fast flop. So again, if you have a story, feel free to let us know. It might be shown on a future episode. So now we're going to get to the point where I ask you, Georgina, is there a time where you've totally bombed?
Oh, absolutely. Often, regularly.
It's part of the performance at this point.
Absolutely part of what I do. I'm a learn as you go person, so failure is a learning experience for me. I was going over this with some of the girls because we have a community of girls that kind of perform together.
Yeah.
And one of our biggest flops is I misread an email.
What?
We had a show booked for one of our favorite venues, and we were all excited. We got an email that a bachelorette party was joining us. So we leaned into this bachelorette party part of our show, and it was a camp-themed show. So we planned all these fun, like, stories and, like, leaned into the comedy and planned all these fun games. We're waiting for their bus to show up. You know, they're the only ones left to arrive for the show. The bus pulls up, the doors open, and they're all men.
Bachelor.
Yeah, bachelor party.
Bachelor. Okay. I see where the misreading happened.
So my drag human who is looking at their chest going, I need to go find some girls to pad their self because they were dressed down because of...
Yeah.
Yep. I pulled out one of my biggest comedy acts, which is a Dobby act, where I'm Dobby the house elf.
Okay.
I have a Dobby the house elf head. Yep.
Sorry, I'm picturing it.
And I pull socks out of my dress and whip them at people to "You Don't Own Me." And then there's kind of a surprise at the end. And we have never seen men with such just like straight dropped faces, not knowing how to react. Because
Where
this
did
whole
they think
show,
they were going?
I don't know. One of them was like, I thought we were going to strippers. I'm like, no. But his wife apparently had booked it for them.
I wonder if she did that on purpose.
We found out afterwards. They had a great night. After the first couple of acts and they realized what we were doing, they kind of leaned into it and we had a great night. But that was definitely one of the biggest, like, oh my God moments that we've ever had. We've definitely had moments where there was a snowstorm. We have an audience full of people. And it's myself and one other performer, and that's all that could arrive. So we got one more person to show up, but yeah, there was only two of us, so we put on a show with just two of us. Yeah.
Do you feel more like stress, nervousness, or do you just go into it like just it is what it is?
Myself, personally, I'm a go with the flow. If I don't find that I go with the flow on shows, then I will stress myself out and become one of those people that is very high stress during a show. A lot of my acts and things are improvisation.
So do you just kind of like have an outline and then you
Yeah. Like we start with our concept of like character or song or something that inspires. Sometimes it's a piece of clothing that we start with or a costume and go from there and build our acts around whatever.
Okay, cool.
Sometimes we'll find a show that's like themed and you're like, hey, I want to plan an act for that show. But for me, it's a great place between cosplaying and theater because I'm not quite a theater person and I'm not quite a cosplayer. Like I like to dress up and stuff, but a lot of the cons are a little too much for me, too many people. So
well, it's and like I mean, it's all kind of like the same kind of basic. Yeah. It's just like the where you're doing it or how you're doing it is kind of different. Yeah. I mean, that's why it's like burlesque and stripping have similarities, but they're like different forms, you
Yeah.
know? So it's, and there's a lot of art out there, guys. It's very niche. Look for your niche.
Yeah, absolutely. I encourage you to keep looking for your niche, because when you do find your people and your space, then that's when you flourish.
Yeah. So you started, you had your art class, made some pasties, and just jumped in. How long ago was that? Like, how long have you been doing burlesque?
That was 2017 when I first started.
Okay.
Going into the pandemic, I was trucking along, had a bunch of shows booked like everybody else, and it fell apart. The wonderful human who introduced us all to burlesque in Hamilton moved back east when the pandemic hit. So when we were coming out of it, we were left with kind of just not knowing what to do, where to start. I started with some open stages, and then started booking shows and building a community again. And there's probably a good 10 of us in the city that try to do shows regularly.
That's really cool. Mm-hmm. I live in Hamilton, and I've been here for about 10 years, but I didn't, there's so many different corners of Hamilton with various communities around here. It's always like interesting, like finding finding those corners and being like, wow, there's so much cool shit here. I just
absolutely explore your neighborhoods. Seriously.
Find the weirdos. They're the coolest people.
I live near Ottawa Street, and a couple of months back I was wandering around and I heard music coming from a basement of an old church, and I came across a club, the Gabba Gabba Ghoul Club, and it's an underground venue that has the best Italian food in the city, and there's regular music.
I was expecting it to go.
Yep. And so walk around your neighborhood. Seriously, walk around
find the weird basements.
Yeah.
You never know what Italian food
No. No, seriously, it's so good.
I believe you. You did mention here. I'm actually just gonna pull this up when we were talking about you coming on the podcast, because I have a question. No. You were bringing up burlesque and clowning, and then you also said wrestling support.
Yes. So
I don't know what that is.
So burlesque is burlesque, and I love it. I am one of those people that likes to explore other art forms, and I like to try things out because that's how I learn, and I want to know everybody's job. I'm curious on how their jobs work. I made friends with some wrestlers and some wrestling companies, and was honored enough to play around with a few wrestling companies as a side character. So I don't actually do any of the wrestling. It's more like the Miss Elizabeth thing, which is a huge honor to get called Mrs. Elizabeth, which... Yeah. But so it'll mix in where I get to be a side character. I've worn a Bigfoot suit and held a dude down when he got hit by a chair. So awesome. I have gotten to beat up a guy with whipped cream pies and win my first wrestling match with that. It's always in a steel cage. It's super awesome. Yeah.
Okay, how did you get into that? Don't tell me in art class.
No.
We made steel cages.
I think I just wanted to do it and approach the right people. That's kind of myself.
Yeah, I was going to say you seem very sure.
Like, personally, I just decide I'm going to do something and then figure out how to do it. So myself, it was the right place at the right time. I was working at a venue in the city that made a lot of connections 2 or 3 years ago. And I made friends with the organizers of the company, and they allowed me to come and start play with them a little bit. And yeah, I've done it a couple of times now. I got to ref too. Yeah.
Have you ever seen a wrestling match kind of bomb a little bit, or have they all just
constantly? Well, no, because they organize their matches very well. I see the work and the dedication that goes into what they do as athletes, but also they're not just athletes, they're performers. It's not one thing. But there's always those moments where somebody is off or somebody missed or something doesn't break when you hit them with it. And you're like, oh, that was supposed to break, or, and you just hope that it doesn't result in blood. Some of them want it to. Depending on the type of
like how
wrestler they
real
are.
is your wrestling?
Yeah, well, the one company that I've had so many chances with is actually a blood sport company. So by the end of the night, I'm covered in glitter and they're all covered in blood. I don't know how I get out of that with such. Yeah,
I guess they made a choice. There are artistic choices.
Yeah.
And then the last little part you put is fashion designer, which I think was probably very helpful with burlesque and that kind of stuff.
Yes. Myself, inherently, my style is punk, but I range from everything. I love clothes and fashion and always have. Costuming, we all make our own stuff because nobody can afford to have a professional costume maker. So you learn to do things. I use a lot of modifications on pieces and rework because I'm a big recycler myself.
Yes.
But last year I had the opportunity to take part in Supercrawl as one of their fashion designers. So I got to do a full fashion show at Supercrawl on the Friday night, people everywhere.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was such an experience and really impacted me. It showed me how fashion can bring people together. I started a little bit of a side project now where we're starting what we call fashion battles in the city. So people that are just starting out on creating their own fashion lines and their own designs and finding themselves as a creative fashion human being, spaces to show off some of that stuff. So we've gone through our first series and we're working on our second now.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, it's just a side thing that has just taken off.
As
recently.
we've known, your side things tend to just become full things.
Yeah, burlesque may be my starting point, but it's definitely not the ending.
Okay. Is there any fashion faux pas, totally bombed things you would think don't ever wear that? Or do you think anyone can wear anything if they have the right attitude?
Well, just that. Yeah. I'm one of those people that if it makes you feel good, wear it.
Yeah.
Really. If you're comfortable in it, if you feel good in it, wear it. It doesn't matter your age, your size. If it makes you feel good, wear it.
If you have a body, it's for your body, Exactly. I always hated that, dress for your body. It's I'm putting clothes on my body.
Yep.
My body is dressed.
Yep. I am lucky enough to be surrounded with people who love to express themselves through their fashion. And I love that everybody's different. It's one of the fashion seems to me be one of the easiest way to express yourself. If you can't find the words, if you don't have an art form or haven't figured that out yet, fashion is
it's something
easiest way.
It's accessible to everyone, pretty much. Because you can just make your own pieces or layer pieces in a certain way that's different than someone else, and. Makeup is another example of
what
that.
we're really trying to do around the city is create that space that fashion can be for everyone. So 0 barriers in the way of costs and materials. We're trading and gathering and, to make it available for everyone.
That's really cool. That's really good. I appreciate all the different aspects, especially living in Hamilton and all the different ways you're it almost feels like you're trying to connect different parts of the city and really just, allow art to thrive in the city. And I'm always happy whenever I see another Hamiltonian trying to do that.
Oh, for me, it's the community. It always has been about growing a safe, strong, ethical community among performers and promoters and venues, really. Like, we need safe places for art to grow.
Okay, I have one question I've been asking most of the guests. What is some advice you would give to someone that's maybe going through like a totally bombed moment? They're having that, mess up on stage. What advice would you give them?
Just keep going. Lean into it and keep going, because it's only going to last a moment. And then you have that moment to look back and go, okay, why didn't it work? All of those bombs, they turn into wins eventually. So you just got to keep going.
No, that's great advice. Well, thank you so much. If you want to take this time and plug any of your socials or any of your groups you're in, any of your communities.
So since we're talking burlesque, and I brought up the best Italian food in the city, I am doing an underground burlesque show at the Gabba Gabba Ghoul Club on July 17th. It's classic burlesque with some of the hottest burlesque ladies in the city.
Ooh, I might have to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I promise you the best meatballs in the city.
Well, now I'm sold.
So, you can find me at Lady Grey Burlesque on Instagram or Georgina Keough on Facebook.
And I will have all the links in the description, so it's easy peasy lemon juice. You just have to, click the button. So thank you so much, Georgina, again for coming to the studio and recording this episode with me. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much for having me.
And thank you all so much for watching and, of course, supporting all of our awesome guests and supporting the podcast. Don't forget to like, share, and rate wherever you're getting. Leave us comments. Let us know what's going on. Let me know if we're going to see you at any of the events coming up, because that would be awesome. And thank you all so much. I will see you all next week in the next episode. Bye.